created, I think it was RT, creating a culture of improvement. He created a culture of improvement that included people who weren't just members of the golf club. So people could come and say, come down to his golf school. Somebody said they created a golf school, I don't remember who it was, created a golf school. And that's started to create the momentum. He also ran his equivalent of Get Golf Ready program, 155 members in a year when we're 13 months, was supposed to be economically challenged. So what we need, Mr. Golf Club, is strategies to inspire more golfers, strategies to engage with more golfers, strategies to retain, and we need somebody who can convert them. I think that's a PGA professional. You can be bold, but bold or not. I'm bold, but I'm not you. Well, I then go on and say we need to make that local. So I'll say to the golf club manager, having taken them through that, right, Mr. Golf Club Manager, and I know this is private clubs first, I'll show you public clubs just now. Let's put in our figures. So and that's so important. What Eddie is trying to do with you guys is so enlightened. He's wanting to make you think local, because we can get our arms around local. So get your golf club arms around these figures. Those are national, but what are our figures? Ask them to fill in how many occasional golfers they have from the membership, how many regular, how many heavy. They don't have the stats because they haven't got 4 Ts. Then that doesn't matter. Ask them to make a subjective guess. And actually, if they want, you can take those, you can say, I've got 600, let's see what it would be if we took the national percentages. But ask them to put their figures in and identify the at-risk number. Get them to identify how many golfers are at risk at their golf club. Okay. So, having done that, so here we've got one. Ask them, what can we do to reduce the potential of loss? What can I do, Mr. Club Manager, as the PGA professional? Am I best served behind the counter in the room counting the money? Or are there other things I can do? So let's take this real down in Florida golf club manager who said to me, all my pro wants to do is play golf all time. Now he was right to have his complaint, because the pro in question, he was a good pro, but the pro in question wanted to play with his clique of 8 golfers all the time. What we've got is we've got that golf club manager to realise he can give his pro, this month, here are 12 golfers I want you to play with. Go and play with those 12 golfers and find out what we can do to get them to play more golf, because these are 12 who I think are at risk. And our golf club manager now has a plan, and every month he gives a list of 12 golfers he wants the golf pro to contact and invite to come and play golf with him, and ask those simple questions. What can we do to get you playing more golf? So his golf pro has gone from having a fight with his golf club manager to actually now playing a lot more golf. It might not be with his 12 buddies, but that's not what you're there for. You're there to help the golf club. Public facility, same thing applies, and I've put up 3 logos because we also work with public facilities. I don't care whether you're Medina, who we work with, Congressional, who we work with, or Keaton Park in Dallas, who we work with. I don't care whether you're public or private. The same messages actually apply here. Golfers play the game, they want to have more fun and improve. But actually, what I found when I work with public facilities is they seem to know virtually nothing about the golfers playing at their golf club. Yeah, if you go to any supermarket I've worked with for 25 years, they continually have people outside the supermarkets, every month, different supermarkets, asking questions. Do you shop here for your full shopping every month? Do you become occasional, or am I an on the way home destination? They want to know that. Think about it, that's the equivalent of wanting to know occasional, regular, heavy. They go and find it. They don't just rely on fancy technology, they're people surveying it. Okay. So actually what we need to know is, we need to know the people visiting public facilities, are they occasional, are they regular, are they heavy, do they want to play more, and how much golf do they play at your facility? Are they a heavy golfer at your facility, or are they just a heavy golfer but occasionally at your facility? You want to know those things, because if you know those things, you can develop strategies with your city management to actually increase rounds. Now, you can do this. You don't need an iPad. Forgive my artistic people, they didn't want to put a piece of paper, they wanted an iPad. But you can do this very simply. You can get 5 juniors, which is what we did with Ronnie. We've got 5 juniors who you can do a coaching program with for free. You know, just some simple clinic for the 5 once a month. In exchange, 3 days every month. You pick the days that you think, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday is what we did. You just run through those questions. And you use the data you get here to give you the information you need. I know I'm dealing with most of my golfers are just occasional. And by the way, I've got lots of heavy golfers, but they only ever come here and play one of their 10 rounds per year here. You need to know that information if you're at a public facility, because then you can develop strategies and plans and very simple techniques to say, right, what do I need to do to get the regular and heavy golfers spending more time at my facility? What do I need to get the golfers I know but who are not visiting me enough to play golf at my facility? Now, if you go back and look at that, I guess in this section, because you're number 1 in the country, everybody is grabbing every email address they can. But if you've got that and you get that, that's people you can start talking to. Now, when you develop your strategies, and again, I forget who it was in your section, that's why I said there's so many good ideas I heard this morning. It was the golf school one. I think you should think of people in 3 circles as your members. And I work with private, so the congressional, which is, I guess, probably as exclusive as you're going to get in that elitist area, we've got them thinking the same way. You've got your members circle, the people who are paying now, they're your members, your core golfers. You've got to have strategies to get more of those people retained and strategies to get more of those people playing golf more often. So let's not give lessons, let's have an improvement centre, let's have a golf school, let's have an academy, whatever it is, but don't give lessons. And market programs that give results. You know, even somebody like Hank Haney, by the way, you know, look at how his marketing all is. He goes after solving problems. He doesn't talk about giving lessons. Let's fix the slice. And that was his program, I think, for November. You know, work with programs that have results. Remember, Get Golf Ready is a result. So have your member circle, work at that member strategy for retention, engagement, and then look to build a student circle that's not just people that's at your golf club. If you're a public facility, this is no problem. But build people in your academy who are your future. Again, Get Golf Ready, in my mind, is the best thing I have seen out of any PGA in the world. And I have sent that to every other PGA I work with, saying, you want to get students, new people in the game, or people who lapsed a long time ago, Get Golf Ready is a fantastic program we should be working with in terms of that student circle. And think of, like Facebook does, friends of the club. Let me build myself as a community centre in my area so that I have relevance in my area more than just to my members. I would think, and this is not the mainline thinking of your PGA, by the way, so let me clearly say that. Beware Facebook. If you're all thinking, I'll run away and create a Facebook page, beware Facebook. What Facebook is doing is, think of it in a physical sense, it's creating a mall. And that's all it is, it's a digital mall. And in that mall, you can't control what the people walking around that mall see. So you can create a Facebook page all you want. Here is a real Facebook page. Ignore the fact that it's mine and I'm talking about soccer and being a nerd. But look what's appearing down here, because on the right hand side, they know I've go to visit golf sites and look at golf things lots. I'm getting lots of adverts for other people associated with golf. So you can have a Facebook page, you might not stop TaylorMade, but there's nothing that stops TaylorMade then promoting and advertising to your members. And guess who's making the money off that? Facebook, not you. Be very careful with Facebook. I'm not saying don't use Facebook, but be very careful with Facebook. What you can do, and you can do around the world now with many different tools, is you can create your own social network that's not in Facebook. And I think, why would anybody come to that? Well, Facebook is perfect for attracting people to you. It's great. Once you've got them to you, you don't want them to be exposed to everybody else's adverts. So finding some other social network which your members can then be, it's theirs. It's their own private social network. So you've gone from the mall into your space where you're in control of your customers. So that's what I would recommend you did. And when I see your marketing, here's what I said, at best, with almost all the marketing I ever see, is buy one, get one free kind of principle of marketing. Or I've got this event. Actually, if I came to any of you and said, I'll take that guy at HSBC, I came to you and said, I can't hit a fairway wood, you are a fountain of knowledge to be able to convert a person from being rubbish with a fairway wood to be able to get to a fairly decent standard with a fairway wood, or a driver, or an iron, or a pitching wedge, or a sand wedge, or a putter. It doesn't really matter. But I don't see that in your marketing. When I look at your marketing, I never hear you telling me the stories. In fact, go back and take a walk of shame. Walk from your car park, that's American? Yeah, car park, wherever you park your cars, in through the club to your shop. Walk through your shop out to the first tee. And see if you can find a piece of information on there that talks about any result you deliver to any golfer. Or have delivered, even better, have delivered to any golfer. Now you think about it, why haven't you got a league? You're going to laugh at this, but this really works. Why haven't you got a league table up on your wall in your pro shop for the distance you've added to golfers' tee shots? So every golfer you've worked with this year, here's what his distance was, here's what it is now, I added X number of yards. And get them to want to get into mind so that every time they see it, hey, my pro can make that difference. And why don't I want that difference? Surely I want that difference. Think about that story I started out with Dave Christie. They want the result. Now, Tim Hall, PGA professional, on his wall, you might think the average of the last 20, you might think the average is 15 yards. You might, if you go bold, think the average is 21 yards. The average distance proudly displayed on his wall is 41 yards. That's the average distance he's added to golfers. And it's up on the wall, so he can't make the figures up. What do you think his members think of him? What do you think his management think of him? They can see he's about making a difference to him. And why isn't your marketing talking about the difference you make? Why is it buy one, get one free? And to show you how powerful you are and how wrong that little, I can't use that word, is, okay, TaylorMade. We ran a survey with 100,000 golfers to tell us what did they play now, what golf club they were at, so they're customers of our golf clubs, what golf club they're at, what brands they played now in what categories, and what brands they would like to play in the future. Let me go through it because it's not complicated, I'll just explain it badly. Let's take TaylorMade. If the pro stopped TaylorMade, there would be 50% more, a higher percentage of people want to play TaylorMade than if the pro didn't stop TaylorMade. In other words, same with Ping. With companies like Tour Edge, it was 3 times as many, 4 times as many. In other words, if he wants to grow his business, he needs to get your endorsement. That's what that stat says. It's irrefutable fact. And to prove it, we took Adams, that in South Africa was a destroyed brand 5 years ago because all they'd done is market through the big chain. So on course they were nowhere. And I intervened here in Plano, Texas, and got them to get rid of the agent in South Africa. And we got to go on course. It took less than 18 months for them to make Adams, because they got behind it as a group of pros, Adams the second biggest seller on course in South Africa. Okay. That's the power of the pro. That's the power of the pro. And that's the power I do not believe you have. Those brands need to be begging for that limited space in your stores. But all I see when I see your marketing is emptiness, nothing. I don't see the stories. And you know what? Those stories, if they were going out in your marketing, your management would see them. So if you were sending out stories that says, this is what I did for John, or this is what I did for Mary, or this is what I did for Philip, your management would see those stories, and your management would learn to value you more. So, you know, here's a story. I'm not going to read it to you, but you've got 100 of these. So this was an email that came into this pro, Martin Griffin. I was close to quitting the game. I felt so low. She sent that email in and said to Martin, you can publish that to anybody. Martin didn't want to. He was too modest. I'm saying, Martin, that's the sort of testimony you want. You need to put that out in your marketing. That's a difference you've made. And guess what? For your golf club manager, that's one more customer retained. That's Mark Vincent at Lubbock. Okay, so, dear Mark, I just wanted to say that I've certainly appreciated your sage golf advice and inspirational words you offer in each newsletter. Mark Vincent, each week, writes a few words about what people should be thinking about when they're on the first tee or when they're faced with this shot. It's just a few words. I was so moved by your thoughts today in particular, I felt compelled to not only write you, but to pass them on to our entire boys golf team at Coronado, their parents, and our golf coach, Barry Voss. That is powerful, powerful stuff. And all Mark has done, and Mark is a regular joke. Everybody know Mark Vincent in Lubbock here? Mark is just, he's a really nice guy. I like him very much. I don't think it's wrong. But he's just the normal Joe Pro. No flash. He's never going to run for office anywhere. He's never going to be Mr. Fancy on a television programme. That's not him. But we've slowly coached Mark into being somebody who actually wants to tell the stories about the difference he's made. And there's a pro in New Mexico whose name's just gone from me. I can't remember his name. He's an old, dyed-in-the-wool PGA professional from 40 years ago. And he's got this woman, Mrs. Spence, who brought her kids to him. He coached her kids. She came to him about 8 weeks later and said, I've got a golf clinic for you with 16 kids. He said, I don't do clinics. She said, yes, you do. These are daughters and sons of my friends. I've told them how good you are. I've prepared all the materials. You don't need to do anything. You just need to rock up, do it, away we go. She's now, for nothing, taken him to the point where he's got a school of about 80 children and 24 mothers. He was sat there scrabbling away, doing nothing. All she did was tell people the story of the impact this professional made on her children. And she's built him a customer base of over 100 people. Now, I want to talk about something called the theatre of golf. Because when I walk into pro shops, especially in the United States of America, and especially around Dallas, it looks like mini-me Newman Marcus, or as we term it, mini-me needless markups. I don't understand it. There's no theatre of golf. So Ken's. I just walk into Ken's, there's nothing there. So that walk of shame, do it. By the way, Hank Haney, I got him and Steve Johnson to walk from their car park through to their first tee on their practice range out somewhere north of Dallas. Not a single message anywhere that they did anything to do with coaching. And they kept saying, but the people know it's Hank Haney. Well, Dawn James doesn't know Hank Haney from a bar of soap. And by the way, he's got there a state-of-the-art 3-bay video system for video coaching. It's in a barn to the side. No message about it in his shop. And when we got to the first tee, there was about 8 golfers on the practice tee, practicing. So with Hank and Steve in tow, I went and asked each of them, did they know about the video bays? None of them knew. None of them knew. So Hank Haney, you would probably think of as, he can market. Nobody on his practice team knew he had 3 state-of-the-art video bays, or that they offered video lessons. And why would they? He doesn't even tell them the price of lessons. Never mind the results he can deliver at his clubs and facilities. You should be out, and actually what I think you should be doing is focusing a bit less on 18-hole golf. 10-yard challenge. I challenge somebody here to do this, if not more than one of you. Just run an event as you get into your season opening, whether it's late April, although the way it was yesterday would be yesterday, and actually run an event. Invite people to come and spend 20 minutes with you, and in 20 minutes for free, you challenge them that you'll add 10 yards to their tee shots. Run a Better Golf 10-yard challenge day. Get 16 people to do it. You'll add 10 yards every time to their tee shots. I mean, you all know that most of us don't come at the ball from the right angle anyway, so let's get that right. You all know we're playing with too little loft, and you all know we're probably playing with a flex that's too strong. So fix those things, and probably a long golf ball. Fix those things, and we're far more than 10 yards. Do that. Get that data, and then in your marketing, get back to your whole customer base what fun they had with, here's the names, here's what their tee shot distance was, here's what it was when I finished. But it's fun out in the golf course. And by the way, when people take part, it doesn't take 5 hours. It takes them 20 minutes. It's something I can do on the way home from work. Run the 10-foot challenge. 10-foot challenge. Challenge them to come and take 10 putts from 10 feet. You'll spend 10 minutes with them, and they can take 10 putts again with a different putter, and they'll do better. And on average, you know they will. In fact, you know that if you put most every average golfer in a belly putter from 10 feet, they're nearly 50% better because they can't do anything if they're attached to keep the face square. So you know you can do this even without a lesson. By the way, Dave Poles gave me that fact. I watched a presentation, the best opening to any presentation. So you know, you start a presentation, they say you've got to have an opening that gets people's attention. I insult you, that's how I do it. But Dave Poles, he did it. He got on the stage. He got on the stage and he says, "I'm here, Dave Poles, you all heard of me." And he dropped the golf ball down. And he pulled the wedge out down the podium, and he turned and he hit it 20 feet the pitch into the audience with a real golf ball. And then he did it again, and then he did it again, and then he said, "Right, now I'm ready to start the presentation." Wow, did he have people's attention. I contemplated doing it for you, but I thought with my 16 handicap, I might scull a few. Okay, but you got the 10-shot challenge. Challenge 3 members to come and spend some time with you. You'll play with them, and actually what you'll do is you'll drop a golf ball down every time they get to within 100 yards. So you'll have their score from the tee to there, but then you'll play a ball with them from that distance in. Do you know if you take a 20 handicapper, your score will give them the equivalent of a single-figure handicap? Now you all know that, I think, but create some theatre. Do that, and in your marketing tell people the results. You all get the principle. If you don't know the principle of that, come see me afterwards, because it's very powerful. Then you can sell short game improvement. Then you can sell wedge systems. Then you can give people more enjoyment because they will improve. And guess what? How much more fun it is to break 85 than it is to shoot around 90. So, I would like you to rethink how you want people to think about you. I want you to go away here and stop thinking about yourself. I want you to think about your golfers and what makes their day and what you can do to make it better. And somebody said earlier, so it's not just me, you might know their name. You might know their name. But if they have a great day playing golf, they are really happy. So I want you to think about your golfer. I actually want you to think about what your golf club management want, and then I would like you to actually engage and have conversation with your management to quantify the local challenge. This section has led the way with this, and I've fed this and sat down with Darryl and told Darryl Crawle, that actually we're in danger of Golf 2.0 of switching people off because the numbers are too big. What your section has done is made this achievable. Now, if they want to be the #1 section, I don't give a rat's arse in a year's time that you had a number of people in programs. You know, the number of you ran a Golf Ready program. I don't give a rat's arse. What I care about is how many golfers you got into the game, and that's what you should be measuring yourself against with the other sections. Did this section drive more people into the game? Did this section do more to retain golfers? And did this section do more to get occasional golfers playing more golf? That's what I want to hear, and that's the conversation I want to know that you're having with your management. You're making it local and you're challenging them. I promise you, I wish you could have all been there at that presentation of the Golf Club Managers Association. Which there is now follow-up. New Jersey, New England, Illinois, they're already asking for me to come to that presentation with the PGA professionals and the club managers together. Because the club managers don't believe you want this role. The audience believe you want to be in the office. So start having the conversation. Embrace your strategies, sections and goals. They should not be pleading with you. Implement 3 of your own strategies. Please build a community that you own. Now I mean you own even more than your golf club. Now I'm going to tell you why. Any hairdresser, just to show you I can navigate, I think I see a hairdresser very often, but any hairdresser, when she builds up a clientele or he builds up a clientele, if they don't like what the hairdresser who owns the place is doing, they move to another hairdresser, and guess what happens? Everybody goes with the hairdresser. Now I promise you, wherever Dave Christie goes, I am going. I'm not telling you that, that's not an idle comment. That guy has materially made my golf life happier. I don't actually care that much about the golf course. I care about the fact that I can hit a 5-iron nicely. So if Dave moves along to Eagle Canyon, which looks likely, then I will move to Eagle Canyon. Now why shouldn't that be some power that a PGA professional has? Build a community that you own, and by the way, build it outside the boundaries of your golf club, because you can bring them to your golf club. Foster a culture of improvement. If you can get your golf club to think, everyone in your golf club to actually approach their golf with, I want to improve, and here are my personal targets, especially if I set them with my pro, then actually more golf will be played. More people will stay in the game. And finally, please create a theatre of golf outside 18 holes. Please, at least once a month, create some little event that people can come and spend 15 minutes in playing golf with you, or doing something with your assistants that identifies an improvement opportunity for them. That's how you'll get them to spend more time. That's engaging with you. Others have done this, lots and lots of others. I've told you about Peter Myers. David Price, I think you may know David Price, many of you. He's a well-respected PGA professional at Bentry. His first year working through this process, he had for himself, when running a golf club, he had a 30% increase in revenues. So on top of that increase, in November 2011, he was 105% up on November 2010, when he was already 30% up in the previous year. The reason? He's got him and his staff engaging with more golfers, and every one of his staff members is challenged now to have a community, even their members, a community that person's working with to improve their game. Ted Bishop needs no introduction, but what he has done, and I've watched him do, he might talk up on a stage about Get Golf Ready. Do not think this guy does not go and do it. He does it. He has his whole facility running Get Golf Ready programs, and it drove revenues through a hard time for him. Tim Hall, Clearly Mortimer, increased his lesson revenues 600% without an additional staff member in 2 years, just by putting in place a culture of improvement. Now, by the way, to show you how bad you are at marketing, nothing to do with any systems that we have, we managed to persuade 140 professionals to make one small change on golf balls. And in February 2012, they're up over 100% in sales on February 2011. That small change, put up a price marker with the words, dozen tightliest, recommended price, my price, you save. It was the same price he was ever selling them at. He's not running an extra discount, these guys. They're all doing exactly the same. All they've done is they've told the customer very visibly. Now, I watched a very good pro last week, I forgot his name, up in Kansas. He sent out a great email to his members talking about grips. Fantastic technical information. He didn't finish it off with an offer or a price. He's a great professional. Let me tell you, number one reason people won't buy something in the marketing world, besides not liking the product, is if they don't know the price. Get Golf Ready as a result and a price. I love it. I love it. So what I've tried to do is take you through here I try to collapse 3 presentations into one. One, your golf club needs you to be a rainmaker, and you need to be a rainmaker. You need to go beyond just the Get Golf Ready program and have strategies to retain, engage, convert, and run Get Golf Ready programs within that golfers. You need to do that. Your golf club needs you to do that. You also need to do it for your business. I've tried to show you that I want you to think about a different way to think about golfers and think about the result. Forget you're a PGA professional. Be very proud of it. I'm very proud you all became PGA professionals. Very proud of it. But move beyond that. Think about the result. Then I want you to do 3 things. I want you to create a community. I want you to create a culture of improvement, and I want you to create a theatre of golf. Now, for those of you that are inclined, I have a flash disk, which you can take away. I don't want you to copy it on your computer. And on that flash disk, I have some documents that explain some of the stuff that's here. I even have some documents you can give to your golf club and say, this was written by somebody else, and it's all about Rainmaker. Okay. There's also a link on there. You just click start. There's a link, and you can actually register to continue to get best practice from us. It doesn't cost anything. If you don't get bothered, you can have that. Or, and I say this with some trepidation because I only texted my team at the start of this presentation and said, wow, this section appears to be far more advanced than any I've ever been to. So can we create a page that's retaildrive.com/Colorado? And you can go there, just leave your email address. I'll never send you an email that you don't want, so don't worry about that. And I'll send you those documents by email. And that's all I will do. I will not send you any other documents, okay? I hope you found this a useful presentation. I've tried to make it a bit more fun than I might usually do at the beginning because, quite frankly, anything I've told you, I heard in your section presentation earlier. So congratulations to your section, and thank you very much.